Oh my God. First try was bad enough. Just scoot all around. All right, I should be on the volume now. Oh, we got a couple minutes of sunshine. If the phone will work. All right, let's see. Anybody see Reptar out there? I don't see a big wheel spinning. You got the door swinging open and closed. You got a crow making noise. I think Reptar's out there looking for some other lizard to have coitus. That's cool. So I have an extension on the regular length cord that plugs into the back of the computer so I can reach outside. I have it because all my equipment is back on the other side of the room as the computer. I thought, I'm not able to reach outside. See, I rent on the park here. I get 5 feet from the side of the trailer. They call it my backyard. And then directly actually behind the back of my wall that I watch the TV from is that woods behind me. There's a fence line across there, and then it's all open fields out on the other side of the fence. If I turn the light on. Directly actually behind the back of my wall that I watch the TV from is that woods behind me. Oh, that's cool, Ben. Across there, and then it's all open fields out on the other side of it. They're probably gonna think it's freezing though. Directly actually behind the back of my wall that I don't know if the sound from my phone is going on to the computer. I don't know if it is. Yeah, it is. Oh well. I don't need to hear me. Well, it's kind of warm with the sun beating down on me, but I'm in long sweats and an insulated shirt, so not quite. We had a 70-degree day that I just, oh, it's like, what is going on? Break out the shorts and muscle shirts. Here, Ben, I'll give you a quick shot of the rest of the back of my yard, but try to make you dizzy moving you around. Inside. So this is my botanical area. There's a little miniature stool out there, or bench. I got nothing really flowering yet, but I will. It grew up last year. Had a bunch of little trees in it. But he gets 10 feet, I get 5, and it's a little farther than that apart. So he cleared like 6 of the trees out between here the week before I moved in. And he said, if I fix that up, you mind? I said, no. So he put the little ant farms all around the outside edge. And then they haven't managed anything since, but it's still nice. I get some pretty flowers. And then back to the backyard, the squirrel den. Yeah, 28. Trump said, nice to see you. Now I'm upsetting the neighborhood dogs. Hitting my 30 minutes of sunshine. Isn't that what the president said? Open your mouth and let the sunshine in. Ah, killed the COVID. Yeah, that back is never maintained. It turns into a jungle here in about 3 weeks. You won't be able to see 10 feet in there. And I get in trouble at the park for everything because I'm disabled. I park my van on concrete beside my steps instead of out where you're supposed to park your cars. Even though I got a double wide pad and a single wide trailer, so I have a lot of concrete on that side. I can park beside the steps and still have the whole van on concrete. But you can't have fires unless it's in an enclosed pit. Unless, of course, you work for the company that owns the lot, and then even in the center of what looks like a woods, you can have a campfire. But, it depends on who you are. Yeah, my grandkids are going all out over sunflowers this year. My daughter's all tatted up with sunflowers. She dug up a bunch of their bushes. Well, it's pretty expensive to grow inside, man. Unless you're talking about a little terrarium of sage and parsley. I know my family does too, and I got to tell you, it's expensive. You're knocking down just for growing enough for a couple people. You're knocking down $300 a month in electricity. You got to replace lights every year. You got filters. If you're at 1,200, well, you're probably growing for more than 2 people. We run a low plant, high yield. One mother, clones, replace the mother every 6 months. You got two under dual road, not oscillating. They just go back and forth on the conveyor, lights. 2 plants, and a number that nobody believes when I tell them how much we yield, so why bother? But last year, he did grow out in some out in his garden, which by doing that made it available for me to purchase. So that was nice of him. Uh, we usually go 30 days on the clones from the time they go into the clone machine until they go under the grow light, the harvest light, the yellow light. We've toyed between the blue light and the incandescent and fluorescent, and our mother only gets incandescent and light. That's it. She gets just the regular glow bulbs, but we use the 600 watters in the bedroom and 600 watters, two 600 watters in the flowering room. That's about 60 days on those. Oh, we had some fun at the beginning. We grew Agent Orange, and this thing was like growing poison ivy, just or kudzu, or I mean, you could get a foot in a couple of days, and we were buying cords of that green tomato line tie down stuff, and this plant went up and over and up and over and back and up and over. We tried to keep them down to the full 4 foot, including the container, because of indoor height. Yeah, I don't know. They'd have been 9 feet if they were straight, I think. But our yields were crazy. But I ordered my seeds from Europe. We get all the shorter heights plants. We tried some auto flowering, but we don't get quite the yield from auto flowers. The best yield is from clones. Hey, Porter farmer, outside in the sun, waiting for the frost to finally come off the tulips. Yeah, we're not. I'm not even supposed to be out here. You're supposed to stay inside. I did a little video of our government announcement: stay inside till May 15th. And then page 2 is all the events of the summer that they want you to come to visit us. When they altered their camera view of their 24-hour camera of Grand Haven Beach to show just the pier and the water. Can't see the beach anymore. 18 lights. Yeah, T5s. I heard a lot of good things about T5s. I think that's what he has in the mother room. But he never liked. We started with 1,000 watts, borrowed equipment, and we burnt everything. So we use 600 watters and get amazing yields. Crazy phenons. We switched to one brand, Blue Dreams, so that I could use it for sleeping, and he could try and get some sleep too. Well, I was over there last week against policy and picking up some clothes my aunt had made, or my sister-in-law had made for my granddaughter. And he was putting up his chicken coop, and about a week from tilling the garden out. Water's way low this year compared to last year, even though the water's high. He lives at about zero water table, and the pond is about at normal height already. Yeah, 18 lights will run $1,200 a month. It's crazy how much they draw. Yeah, we didn't. We use very much little of vitamin B. We do the pH on the water, and what we found works absolutely the best for us is the organic kelp. Oh man, the colors and flavors you get out of organic kelp are amazing. The flavors, the phenols just go nuts. And as a byproduct, just as a story, if somebody wants to fact check me, it's kind of really cool. We do some hydro plants and dirt plants when we do multiples, and when he drains the water from the bucket, we go out and dump it on the gardens. Most of her gardens were flower beds. Within 24 hours, some of these flowers change color. We had a orange flower turn purple, a white flower turn yellow. It was like, are we high? Which of course we are, but it's like, no, we have pictures. I go to seedsupreme.com. It's a European food seed bank. It's got different companies all in different co-ops, and each seed gives you the genetics. They break it down to what it'll do, how long it grows, how strong it is, and it has comments for them to see. Like, you can go in and see, this looks pretty cool, like what I wanted. It works with pain. It's calming, it's focusing, but it doesn't put me to sleep or make me hungry. And it's got all those things, and then you read down in the comments, and for 3 years, this guy will comment, yeah, I've had 2 years. This stuff is great for my back, or no, this didn't do what it said. And they could get to like $10, they guarantee delivery, and they got burned sending me 3 different times because Chicago kept stealing my seeds. Every time I got to the Chicago post office, it disappeared, and so they had to send it 3 times. But just the knowledge that I got from reading the comments and the different things, and it's basically my brother's OCD on it. So the notes he was keeping and the times he remembers the. I mean, we've been doing this for 11 and a half years since Michigan first made it legal. We went out and bought all used equipment. Started with the old seeds we had saved. It all turned out to be crazy plants. Gave them oddball names. No, it was the weed has been a history for me. In 1980, a Russian doctor, the American Exxon company bought from Russia, basically moved him to Houston, Texas, and he started doing laser eye surgery. The first laser eye surgeries that were done in America were done by him. And like a year into it, my brother-in-law went there to get rid of his glasses, and we discussed my birth defects. And the doctor said him home, said, just tell the boy to get high and stay high, because if he doesn't want to go blind someday, he needs to get all the blood he can to his eyes. So I was like 19 years old, and he's like, my brother-in-law smoked weed every day that I was there. Now you get to start smoking this. I'm like, really? I don't want to. But I braved it, and I still can see. So Well, we found with a lot of the oddball seeds or stuff we try, you gotta watch them plants like crazy because this plant is like nature. It tries to find a way to survive, so it will pop out little male buds and just seed up the whole plant. Yeah, Reptar wanted to have some coitus, Joe, so I let him go outside to go find a chick. He's out there somewhere rooting around for another lizard. I drug my extension cord camera out here. Yep. How's it going, Joe? And I'm using a different account for my name so that I don't shut the thing off by using my phone. I tried that earlier today and it shut the live feed off. I feed his ass, Joe. Why do you think most men go home? Ask Joe L. He runs away every day, but he comes home for supper. But I am kind of being passive aggressive, guys. I really am. So I've got a neighbor across the road that's took to repairing cars in the street. So me being out here bothers them, I'm sure, but that's just me. Well, Joe, I have to be honest with you. My brother married his second wife, and her kids from her first marriage have three lizards, and they live here in Michigan. So yeah, there's lizards out there. It's just like they're. It's like you. You just got to get out there and look. Do I think there's any lizards in my backyard? Um, how do we keep it Oh, it's not family friendly. Fuck no, this is Michigan. And no, I didn't let Reptar go out back. I'm just a dumbass. Uh-oh. What do I do now? Oh shoot, I screwed up. Oh, I screwed up my phone. Oh, there I am. Well, Joe, if you followed me for over a year, you know I tried that stuff and it's rank. But I doesn't mean I wouldn't try it again. Which one, Joe? I'm not going to say much about my pros, Joe Cool, but I brought a 23-year-old to my senior prom, so it's cold, but I'm right in the sun, so it's like having a heat lamp on you. Actually, I only have my house set at 62 degrees in the winter anyway, so it's pretty much feels like my house right now. But I live back in the small room in the back. Like, I don't even give myself permission to use the whole house. I'm just going to pretend I didn't read that, Joe. The fact you would discriminate this whole time. So I got to keep up with my medication here. Here you go, Bo. Here you go, Joe. All right, Joe. Thanks for stopping in, man. Here, take this before you go. Bye, Joe. Ben, here you some. Smoking outdoors, Ben, reminds me of the whole time I lived over in Ferrisburg, sitting on my porch with the city government building next door with the cops parked behind it all the time, watching me smoking pot on my front porch. Oh, that's what bongs do, man. You get a nice iced bong and the flavors from, you just need to do one hit, though. And the flavor that comes through is incredible. You know, we went with that Agent Orange for like 4 years, and that stuff was like walking on the edge of a pine forest by a swamp that had oranges grown in it. Really bummed I don't have that one anymore. That stuff was so strong. My sister went in college for 3 of the 4 years on growing weed. I bought one seed, really splurged. It was over $40, called methamphetamine. And that weed was killer. Short plant, low yield, but oh my God, it was strong. Bad. I hope you don't get it wet on the end. I hate those. All right. I think you're the only other one in here. Oh, there's four, it says, but well, if this works, I won't have to do it out of the window of my front yard. I can just drop it out the window of the bedroom. You'll be able to hear me outside. There's not actually much more to see. There will be in a couple of weeks. We'll have some pretty flowers to show you. Well, things are starting to sprout. We had a bunny in the yard a couple days ago. I get squirrels every day, same 3 or 4. Squirrels have become very intersectional because I have a black one with red tips, a gray one with black tips, and an all black one, but has a reddish tail. We used to have black squirrels, gray squirrels, red squirrels. Oh, we get them all. different colors. Intersectional, like I said. This doesn't have a timer on it. I can't see how long I've been live. All right, then. I wanted to get about a half an hour of sunlight. Yesterday was quite busy, Ben. My grandkids got picked up for me after I went grocery shopping at Walmart. And between them bringing the food in and taking the garbage out, and my granddaughter sweeping and mopping and vacuuming, and we spent almost a whole day together. These are like the size of red squirrels, so there none of them get like a fox squirrel. Or in Benzie County, when I hunted the black and gray squirrels, they were big, twice the size that they get down here. And the fox were still half again bigger than that. They were the big squirrels. I used to use popcorn in the swamp to shoot fox squirrels. Clan hood? Oh, that. Oh my goodness. You might as well show the hypocrisy of it, though. I mean, last fall they were arresting these guys for wearing masks with their cameras because it was suspicious. Oh my God, wearing a Klan mask. Well, humor used to be alive, all right? Humor died some time ago. I've said a mini live stream that when I was in grade school, my little brother bought through the Scholastic Readers Program from the state a book called Jokes that had ethnic jokes in three-quarters of it. How long has it been since you heard a Polak joke? I mean, I never hated the Polacks or thought the people from Poland. I didn't even know that Polacks were the people from Poland, okay? I lived in the middle of Ohio. I thought Polacks were stupid, and somebody said, "Well, they attack tanks with pitchforks." And I go, "Well, that Polacks are stupid." But you don't hear Polak jokes anymore. There were certain events in my life that will never forget that broke my chain of believing in things. When Life magazine came out with herpes epidemic will kill millions, and then had to retract it on the next publication to say, sorry, herpes is not a fatal disease. That's when I gave up on them. I gave up on television when the commercials were taken to court because it wasn't their food, but their food would look shitty on TV, and the courts ruled it's advertising, it doesn't have to be real. Just, I mean, you just what can you believe at that point? They come out with the high school book that they taught you history and has 687 errors. Science is a theory and evolves over time with current facts, but that's not what we're supposed to believe science is. The whole thing starts from Ferguson, who had to resign, by the way, because he was found to have been sleeping with somebody else's wife during this thing by traveling. This is the fifth pandemic he's predicted millions to hundreds of thousands to millions of deaths off. All of the last few, Ebola, SARS, swine flu, all were going to be millions and hundreds of thousands, and none of them were right. Him or Fauci, the guy who signed the idea of paying the Chinese lab that the virus got out in millions of dollars. Yeah, those are the scientists. Well, I'll tell you, it's even worse than that, Ben. Hey, Porter Farmer. When I was in the eighth grade in Ohio, they took away our history books after the middle of the year because we got all the way to World War One, and they took away our history books and made us write a report for the next half of the school year on something during the Civil War because they didn't want us to know what World War One or World War Two were. You can be a conspiracy, but I don't go that far. He's just stupid. But he does have a sealed indictment out on him for that very thing. Oh, I got it turned up. No, I sent him outside to take a walk to find a mate. Joe Kula had the wherewithal to ask if he would return, and I said, I feed his ass. Of course he'll return. No, I thought I'd try and get some sun, and sitting out here for 30 minutes is suspicious. So I thought I better record it. Wasn't sure how it would turn out with the extension cord on the camera. And I tried to go on my own phone on my account to say hi, and I don't know if that was it or whatever, but it blacked out and buffed. So this time I went to my second account. 'Tis irrelevant. But even then, I have to turn my phone down, or you get the feedback. But at least I can see the chat this way, which is on the TV in the house. We may try it again, different ways. No, I did it again. No, I want to go back. I want to go back. Now I've lost it all. See if I can get back to YouTube. All right, I'm back. Who did I miss coming in? Jenny Jones. Hi, Jenny. How are you this afternoon? And Porter Farmer and Ben are in here. I'm getting my 30 minutes of sun against our government's orders. I'm defying her orders and going outside. I was exhausted by my three grandkids yesterday. My daughter went back to work on Monday. Don't tell nobody. She worked at an essential place, but all they do is oil changes, and they cut back everybody else. Plus, they got her back now for repairs. She's doing three different businesses in the same strip mall by all the same guy, but she's back to work. So my son-in-law had him, so I thought I'd give him a break yesterday and brought him over here for the day. Then I was so exhausted, I fell asleep early in the afternoon and didn't force myself to get up till way late this morning. Today I feel better for it. 1 hour of sun in Florida. I burned through my shirt, PDF. We went for a ride to my brother's, a 2 hour round trip, and I burnt on both arms. Yeah, I would blister to death out there. She's still 5 hours away. You're getting close. People get back from a long trip, you want to do two things: have the bathroom ready and food. Helps them for being so crabby. So I was thinking about you, PDF, the other day. I saw a nice wizard staff, and I thought, boy, I'll bet PDF, if he looks long enough, he can find a nice tall wizard staff that has a carvable mount to hold a 360 camera on top of it, or a GoPro. You must be farther south than me then, Jenny. So I can't imagine where. I've seen somebody else with pictures of them, but I think they're in Indiana or Illinois. I think it's Indiana. I know Mama Gnome's been picking some stuff. Up in our area, up around Traverse City, there's about 5 different kinds of mushrooms, though. Beefsteaks and morels. And the morels come in all different colors around there. I seriously think the bottom of my door just fell off. Well, that's unique. The bottom plate to the door just fell to the ground. Well, how wonderful. I'll give you a shot of the rest of my tiny backyard. It probably shakes up, but here we go. It goes around the steps. And see, there's the bottom of my door, fella. Isn't that cool? But then my little garden here, not a vegetable garden, a flower garden. And then the street, cul-de-sac. Try and get you a still shot so you don't have to get dizzy. And then I'm just sitting here. So I hold the camera. You guys know how shaky it is. I can't see because I can't tell because everything shakes anyways. The adjustable sweeper plate. I actually think it's the bottom plate. The whole, because there's a folded over about half-inch plate on all the other three sides that seal the door. It's kind of a weird door to begin with. I've had it open twice on me in the middle of winter for no reason at all. But it's got a really little thin plate for the latch, and you bend it easy if you slam it shut with the knob not turned, and then it won't stay closed. But I had a reading on the house, and the lady said there's a guy outside that laughs about the white door bouncing all the time, opening. Yeah, I don't see anything other than it could have been pressed on. There's no screws or rivets or anything. Hell, I'm going to hell from the bottom up anyways, so how can I be critical? I mean, the thing's been around since '91 and it still doesn't leak in the roof, so I'll take what I can get. That was a boat on the river. He must have really cranked it up because that river's a little ways away. It winds all over this area. I go to my daughter's house, it takes me 5 minutes. I cross the river twice. The Grand River. I do my video from the park. People think it's a lake because it's pretty wide right there. And the park is open, so I'll be headed down there here when it hits 60 again. Against the governor's orders. But really, our county doesn't, it's Michigan. All those videos that you see of Walmart stopping you for your receipt when you don't have something in the that they wouldn't get away with that around here. They did put little things on the what direction to go down the aisles, and they do have a 6-foot tape on the floor by the cashier and an entry you're supposed to go around that I go under the tape every time. But that's as strict as they got. All right, Ben, enjoy the family reunion. Jenny, I've seen everybody. I go out. I was outside for a 2-hour trip to my brother's and back, and there were people everywhere working on their yard. And I know it's hard to look at the good things when some people have really suffered a tragedy, but really, I think factually, when it comes down to it, the only difference is in this and any other thing that's similar to it is it's more contagious, and the results to very few people are really ugly. I think everything else about it we've been lied to. Intentionally or misinformed is perfectly up for debate. But when we look at the people we counted on for it, they were either a person that overestimates deaths every time, and didn't even follow the own orders that he thought were important, or the guy that paid for them to study the Wuhan virus. They didn't even tape off any areas at Walmart here or at Lowe's or Home Depot. But I'll put it right online. Our governor's a tyrant. Our legislature said it's over. It's over. That's the law. Her policy is no longer in effect. I'm sorry. She's just a tyrant. I loved her response to the one of the first people demonstrations. Now it's going to have to stay on longer because you people were naughty. I'm thinking that's the aunt that tried to watch me and said she was in charge. But there are a lot worse. The mayor in Chicago is nutsoid. Why does it just happen to be Democrats that are that way? Just pointing out facts. Oh no, they did on SNL. I don't watch TV, but I bet it would be an easy one. And personally, let her jump on Biden's gravy train and run for vice president as long as she disavows Michigan. If she'll leave the state, whether she gets it or not, I'm all for it. Even if the worst possible thing happens and they win, I'd rather her be a useless vice president than in our state. What what has amazed me though of this whole thing is last month my daughter asked me, "What's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican?" Yesterday, my grandson asked me, "What's a Democrat and a Republican?" Like the one thing I never taught my children was politics because I didn't believe in politics. I still don't. I see both sides as bad and no good to come of any of it. And electronics hate me. I don't know why I give up a bad electronic or something. I even tried to get cash out of an ATM machine and it didn't dispense the money. It said it did. So then we went to another ATM in the same bank, which was closed, and it's telling us to talk to somebody inside if we want to. So he called on the phone, and there's like, oh, there's a 30-minute wait to talk to your bank. I'm like, I'm not surprised. But they straightened it all out. It was straightened out before they even got on the phone. They took it, it gave it back, and it took it on my account. Just took a few minutes to update. Okay, I'll look it up later. Watch long enough, maybe those blossoms will open up. But I'm using this other account so I can not somehow shut my live feed down because I tried it earlier. It said it was buffing on here, but it was a black screen in the house. Magnolias are in bloom here. There. We've got a lot of bushes that are coming out, the purple ones everywhere. I saw lots of them on my trip. Mine aren't out quite yet. Of course, this is more of a wooded lot, even though the trees were cut down. Yeah, there used to be 6 trees between me and my neighbor. No, it was in my first live feed. And then I went back in and started a second live feed and came back out here. Because it's direct, that's my camera phone, or my camera microphone for my TV, or my computer. It's plugged right in the back of the hard drive. I just have an extension cord hooked between it and the. You can buy them at the store for like $6 or $8. That way, when in my room, I have it all the way across the room from the computer. It's 2 cords on the floor. I got to worry about tripping over or cutting with the bottom of my walker or whatever all the time. But life's a pain, anyways. That's the wind blowing the door open and closed, hitting my walker, or it would be slammed shut. It is a pretty peaceful park for as big as this park is. If you look on Google Maps to River Haven, there are hundreds and hundreds of trailers right along this open field. But I'm right by the field, and it's pretty quiet in this cul-de-sac, other than the really loud trucks, because it's Michigan. But I'll try and do one from the park soon. It's a little chillier right on the water. The breeze. See, you can see the breeze. That's a little chilly. Yeah, Jenny, my brother's out in Allegan County on a dirt road that dead ends about one house down the road, a quarter of a mile. And then there's one house between him and the road. I think there's only 3 houses on the whole dirt road. And that's how he likes it. He's got a pond and a blueberry field next to him, and everybody walks around armed out there. It's like going back in time. And we got a airport. One of their runs is right over the top cliff. That's a little plane. You don't get any real big planes. Now, as per usual, about this time of day, Lake Michigan sends up a bunch of clouds and it gets cloudy. And sometimes you get the sun before dark. That's our spring, early spring. You hardly ever get a full sunny day. It's just the difference in the water temperature and the land temperature. It's only about 4 miles to the lake straight. So we still get kind of a coastal breeze. It's a little harder to watch me on my phone and moving my phone, but the screen not move or the picture not move. Well, thanks for stop. Oh, Joanne, good to see you. Glad you could stop in. Yeah, I managed an apartment complex. One was like one street across from the lake, and one was a mile at the other end of town. And there was 10 degrees difference in the summer and winter. People don't get it. They can bet. But I'm privileged to have you come in here. I love gonna love one of those the new StreamYards or the new Discord StreamYards. Love to get into a chat with you sometime. Today we're just looking at my backyard, me getting my 30 minutes of sun outdoors against the governor's orders of going outside. We all have to protest in our own way. Yeah, really. When you cart me away, bring a vehicle with extra suspension in it. Not a lightweight. There aren't many people that can lift this useless carcass off the ground with their hands. All right. Well, I think I'm going to leave this live stream before I get sloppy and drop a cigarette butt in one of these piles of leaves and burn my house down. I haven't quite figured out how to end it because I'm going to end it on my phone so I won't see the chat. And you're going to get to struggle through the house with me unless I just pull the plug and it goes dead. I don't know which. All right. Thanks, Jenny. I appreciate you coming in. Everybody that stops in really makes my day. That's here we go. I'll leave my walker there and let the door open for a little more fresh air. Now, if I can get in without putting my walker on the cord and cutting it, you can watch the ceiling, I guess, the way it's turned. Well, since my granddaughter cleaned my whole house pretty much yesterday, it's not too bad looking. I'm not too embarrassed. There's a Reptar. You can see the TV out of the corner of my eye. It seems to be moving the camera. What's the camera still? We're still good. Ah, you get to look at my light. Now what? So in your ears, I won't scream, I promise. Found the seat. Oh, not my screen. Reptar, are you hungry? Reptar. A couple crickets. I'll leave this live stream. Just so Joe Cool doesn't worry, he did come back, Joe. Reptar's here. Check the chat. All right, everybody's probably left. Well, 6 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. All right, we gone.